How's everyone doing today? So as you can see, I'm flattening out the bottom of the shells, getting them ready to redo the bearing edges. I did all 4 drums like this, and it's not very hard. You just got to make sure you take your time so that you get a good bearing edge, or a good flat surface for your bearing edge, I should say. By the way, I'm using 180 grit sandpaper. Here you can see the Jasco paint remover. When you use this stuff, guys, make sure you're wearing gloves and you're super careful so that you don't get that chemical on you, because it can, and it will burn your skin. As you can see there, I'm removing a lot of that adhesive as much as I can. Once again, that's all about just taking your time. You can see me spraying water onto the shells. That's just to deactivate the chemical so that it doesn't keep going. Right there, I'm finished sanding it just to make sure that we're good. Now I'm going to go around the shells once again and get ready to paint prep everything so that we can rock and roll. When sanding, I go 180, 220, then 400. Here, I'm doing 2 coats of black primer on on every shell. That's all 4 shells. There, I'm doing the first coat, just a tack coat, just to make sure that I get some paint on the shell. Right there, I'm showing you the color shift. That's why I'd asked for the black primer, because this is a paint that changes colors depending on where you go. As you can see, I started shooting in my garage, and it just didn't work. So I ended up taking it outside, which you can see here, and that worked a lot better. I have the shell sitting on top of a Lazy Susan so I can spin it around and get her done. It took 4 coats of paint, so that's 2 coats of primer, 4 coats of paint in order to get it done. And as you can see there, I still need to wet sand that at 1500, and then they'll be all good to go. I let the shell sit for 24 hours that's after 6 coats, 2 of primer, 4 of paint, and then lastly 2 of clear in order to get the finish I wanted. Alright, so over here you're going to see me cutting all the bearing edges in all 4 drums. Obviously I did that after I painted them, just to make sure that you guys can see a nice crisp line. I did a 45 on one side and a soft round over on the outside of the shell. So they look good, they sound great. I'll tell you right now, these things tuned up so easily when it was all said and done. I was very, very happy with them, and I know my niece is going to love them too. So yeah, it's very, very easy, guys. Just creep up on them. Come in slow, don't come in too fast. Remember to wet sand everything, guys. I wet sand at 1500 grit with that spray bottle, a little bit of spray on the shell, very, very lightly. You don't want to overdo it, because if you burn through the clear or burn through the paint, you got to start the whole process all over again. There's no real saving it. And then obviously, as you can see, I kept all my parts in containers, and you know what, I was super happy. I didn't lose one part, and it all went together super smooth. The finish on these from the factory are terrible. Trying to get the screws into the hole sometimes is just fighting it. Right there, I'm sanding the bearing edge, which I'd forgotten to do. Make sure you sand it just to kind of soften them, because obviously the edges that you're going to get from the blades are going to be really harsh. So you soften them with some 220 sandpaper, and then you should be golden, and they'll go together just fine with the heads. And I'm telling you, man, if you do it right, you're going to get an amazing sound. Alright, it's time for the reveal, and here we go. I think it came out great. I put all new heads. Everything, like I said, tuned up super quick and easy. I had no issues. There's the MIJ vintage snare that I did for my niece as well. Everything sounds awesome and super clean. I can't wait till she gets it. So stand by, guys. So guys, please like and subscribe if you dig this video. Here's a shot of my niece.